Lesson 3, Fuel Up with Breakfast. Upon completion of this lesson, you will be able to explain the importance of eating a balanced breakfast every day. Select a balanced breakfast using the 3 out of 5 model. Analyze a daily physical activity record and substitute moderate to vigorous for low levels of physical activity as needed to meet daily requirements.
Why 3 out of 5 for breakfast? Breakfast sets you up to learn and play each day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. A healthy breakfast and a good night's sleep are a winning combination. It is important to eat breakfast every day so that you can get all of the nutrients you need to keep your body healthy and to grow strong. What kinds of foods make a healthy breakfast? Want energy and nutrients at the start of your day? Eat foods from the food groups. You can choose foods to build a healthy breakfast at home or at schools that offer a breakfast program. To eat a balanced breakfast, choose a breakfast with 3 or more food groups. Here is an easy way to build a balanced breakfast. Eat foods from 3 or more different food groups: dairy, vegetables, fruits, grains, or protein group.
Yay!
Eating 3 or more food groups for breakfast gives you a mix of protein, fiber, and fat that fuels your body. There are many ways to make a 3 out of 5 breakfast pattern, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time or be complicated. You can make a smoothie with strawberries, yogurt, and milk, and a piece of toast. Another 3 out of 5 breakfast pattern could be cereal with milk with bananas on top. Another option would be a bagel with peanut butter, a glass of milk, and carrot sticks. When you eat a sugary breakfast like donuts, or you don't follow a balanced 3 out of 5 breakfast pattern, you may feel tired, grouchy, get a stomachache, and feel hungry. But if you eat a healthy breakfast, for example, a 3 out of 5 breakfast pattern, you'll have energy and nutrients to keep you feeling full until lunch.
Yay!
Starting the day with breakfast is a healthy habit that helps you concentrate better in class and have energy to play with friends. What will you eat for breakfast tomorrow to make sure that you are ready to learn and play? Do you understand why eating breakfast is important? Do you think you can choose foods to build a 3 out of 5 breakfast? To practice and for more resources, visit healthyeating.org.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Celeste. I'm from the CalFresh Healthy Living Program from Santa Clara County's Public Health Department, and today I'm going to be your nutrition educator. For today's lesson, we're going to be talking about breakfast. We're going to go over what makes a balanced breakfast and a really helpful tool called the 3 out of 5 food model. After a good night's rest, our bodies need to be refueled because if you think about it, we haven't had anything to eat since dinner. So eating breakfast is a great way to ensure that our bodies are getting the nutrients it needs and we can be ready for our day. It's important to eat a balanced breakfast every day to get the nutrients our body needs and the energy we need to learn, do our homework, and to be physically active. Just like cars need fuel, our bodies need fuel from the foods that we eat to move around. Let's say I didn't eat breakfast and I had to record this video. How do you think I would feel? You're right, I would probably feel really tired, hungry, frustrated, and low energy. When I would teach this class to my students, a lot of my students would always say, Miss Celeste, you'd feel hangry, which is true, I would be. Now let's say that I did eat breakfast, how would I then feel? Yes, I would feel alert, ready to go, ready to learn, and ready to film this video for you all. A healthy breakfast gives us the fuel we need to feel ready to start our day, especially since our last meal was the day before. I want you all to think of a breakfast that you like to eat. I like to eat a breakfast burrito. The burrito that I eat has a tortilla, which is part of the grains group, and eggs, which are part of the protein group. I want you to think of a breakfast that you like to eat. This could be a breakfast that you eat with your friends, a school breakfast, or a breakfast that you just love to eat in general. You can pause the video right now to give you some time to write down your favorite breakfast. A helpful tool to remember what a balanced breakfast looks like is the 3 out of 5 food model. When we eat breakfast, we should aim for eating at least 3 out of the 5 food groups. But not just any food groups. Let us dive in a little deeper on the 3 out of 5 food model. Our first group is grains, and we have an orange square that represents the grains group. Grains are cereals, bread, pancakes, English muffins, and tortillas. Whole grains like whole grain cereal or whole wheat bread are best. Our second group is either a fruit or a vegetable, and we have half a red square for fruits and half a green square for vegetables. Fruits are strawberries, bananas, and berries. A few examples of vegetables are carrots, mushrooms, and spinach. Our last group is either a protein or a dairy, and we have half a purple square for protein and half a blue square for dairy. A few examples of dairy are milk, yogurt, and cheese. For protein, we have peanut butter, eggs, and meats. Now, when we add plus signs in between the groups, so we have group 1, which is grains, plus group 2, which is a fruit or a vegetable, plus group 3, that's a protein or a dairy, that equals to the 3 out of 5 food model. So group 1 is always our grains group. Group 2 is either a fruit or a vegetable. Group 3 is either a protein or a dairy. A few things that I want to point out about the 3 out of 5 food model is the first food group always includes a grains to start our morning. If you remember, grains give us our energy from B vitamins, and we need 6 servings of grains in one day. For group 2, it's always a fruit or vegetable, and for group 3, it's always a protein or a dairy. So now that we're experts in the 3 out of 5 food model, let's take a look at my breakfast that I said that I like to eat. Now, I said early on that one of my favorite breakfasts to eat in the morning is a breakfast burrito. Now, my breakfast burrito has a tortilla, which is part of the grains group, and eggs, which are part of the protein group. Is this 3 out of 5? You're right, we are missing group 2. We're missing a fruit or a vegetable. So let's say that I added some spinach with my eggs. Would that now be 3 out of 5? You're perfectly right. Once we add the vegetables for group 2, it does meet the 3 out of 5 food model. Now let's take a look at your breakfast. Does your breakfast meet the 3 out of 5 food model? Meaning, do we have a grains for group 1? Group 2, do we have a fruit or a vegetable? For group 3, do we have a protein or a dairy? Now if it does, great job. If it doesn't, think about what else you could write to make it a 3 out of 5 food model. I also want to point out that it's important to eat a variety of foods. Many foods can be eaten for breakfast, including leftovers, rice, or sandwiches. And it's totally okay to eat non-traditional breakfast foods. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to review 4 different breakfast examples, and I want us to take a look at these 4 examples, and I want you all to think, are these breakfast examples 3 out of 5 food model approved? And if they're not, then what else can we add to them? Our first example is scrambled eggs with rice. Now we have scrambled eggs, which are part of the protein group, and we have brown rice for grains. Is this 3 out of 5? You're right, we're missing a fruit or a vegetable, so think about what can we add to it. We can either add some sliced apples, or we can add some spinach or mushrooms into our scrambled eggs. Now, our next example is a slice of cheese pizza with a side of orange juice. Now, I don't know about you all, but I love to have leftover pizza for breakfast. It's the best. But let's take a look and see if this example meets the 3 out of 5 food model for breakfast. We have cheese, we have a cheese pizza, we have the crust for grains and the cheese for dairy, and don't forget, we have orange juice for fruits. Does this meet the 3 out of 5? You're right, it does meet the 3 out of 5. We have 3 out of the 5 food groups for a healthy, balanced breakfast. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next example. We have whole grain cereal with strawberries and milk. Let's break this one down. We have whole grain cereal, which is part of the grains group. We have milk, which is part of the dairy group. And we have some strawberries for the fruit group. Does this meet the 3 out of 5 food model? You're right, it does have the 3 out of the 5 food groups for us to have a healthy, balanced breakfast. Cereals are a great option for breakfast, but some cereals have too much sugar that make them an extra. If you remember, extras have no main nutrients and extras do not provide us any health benefits to our bodies. So when you can, choose a cereal that's low in sugar, and you can always add some fruits to make it sweeter. Our last example is pancakes with syrup and milk. Let's break this one down. We have pancakes, which are part of the grains group. We have syrup, which is an extra, and then we have a side of milk, which is part of our dairy group. Does this meet the 3 out of 5? You're right, we are so almost there. All we need to do is add some fruits, or we can add a vegetable. What I would add is I would add some strawberries or some blueberries or bananas on top of the pancakes to make it sweet. We just looked at these 4 different breakfast examples and we made them into balanced meals. They're balanced because they have at least 3 out of the 5 food groups that our body needs to have our main nutrients early on in the morning. So why is it important to eat balanced meals throughout the day? For our nutrients, we're trying to get all of our nutrients throughout the day. All of our food groups are working together for our bodies, so when we're eating dairy, we're not just eating dairy, we're eating cheese from the dairy group, which then the cheese gives us our calcium, which is the main nutrient, and from the calcium, we get strong bones and teeth, which is the health benefit. We're trying to eat healthy, balanced meals throughout the day so we can get all of our main nutrients and all of those health benefits that will then help our bodies to be strong, to have healthy skin and eyes, and for healing. Now, in this video, we discussed what makes a balanced breakfast. We went over the 3 out of 5 food model and why it's important to eat a variety of different food groups every day. Thank you, friends, for watching this video, and stay tuned. I'll see you later. Bye.
Is this breakfast balanced? Look at the 3 breakfasts pictured on the next 3 slides. Type the food groups you see included in each breakfast picture. Is this breakfast balanced? There's whole grain bread with peanut butter, banana, and a glass of milk. Let's take a closer look. The bread falls into the grains category, so we have that taken care of. The banana falls into the fruit category, so we have that taken care of. And the milk falls into the dairy category. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1, that equals 3. We have a 3 out of 5 breakfast. So yes, that is a healthy, balanced breakfast, which will help get you through the day. Hey, this is my favorite breakfast, oatmeal with nuts and water. Is this a balanced breakfast? We have grains. We do not have any fruits or vegetables. And we have protein. So I have talked about this with other grade levels. I haven't mentioned it to this grade level, I don't think yet. But this is literally my favorite breakfast. and I just need to find a way to add some fruit. So I don't really like dried fruit, so I would probably most likely eat a banana or part of an apple. And that would make it balanced. But this particular breakfast, not balanced. Is this breakfast balanced? We have vegetable and cheese omelet. So we have vegetables, we have dairy and protein. However, we do not have any grains. So this is not a balanced breakfast. It's not a 3 out of 5 breakfast. It's a 2 out of 5. Now let's take a look at some physical activity to see if these students are meeting the 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day. So Frank, the example, he played video games for 30 minutes. That does not count as moderate to vigorous physical activity. He had 15 minutes of skateboarding and 30 minutes of football. 30 plus 15 is 45. Did he meet the recommended amount of moderate to vigorous physical activity? No, he did not. And so he could have added more basketball or more skateboarding, or he could have done some running or some jumping jacks or jumping rope. Let's take a look at Kelly. Kelly played soccer for 45 minutes. Then she watched TV for 15 minutes. Then she walked home for 15 minutes. So that is considered low-level activity as well. And then she had 30 minutes of playing tag with her brother. And as long as they were running while they were playing tag, she had 75 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity. So yes, she met her goal of 60 minutes every day. Mary went shopping for 45 minutes. That is definitely a low-level activity. And then she played cards for 15 minutes. So that is a low-level activity. And then she spent 15 minutes running to catch up with her mother. So she has 15 minutes total of moderate to vigorous physical activity. So she needs to do 45 minutes of something else to meet her goal of 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity. And our last student, David. David spent 15 minutes rollerblading, 30 minutes dancing, and 30 minutes playing tennis. All of those are moderate to vigorous physical activity. So he has 75 minutes total. And yes, he met his daily recommendation of 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day. Class recap. It is important to eat a balanced breakfast every day. You can select a balanced breakfast using the 3 out of 5 model. And you can substitute moderate to vigorous physical activity for low levels of physical activity as needed to meet your daily requirements of 60 minutes per day. Don't forget to eat a balanced breakfast every day. This lesson was brought to you by the Dairy Council of California, Orange County Department of Education, and Miss Ford.